Hi, and welcome to the MSPN Talk. I'm Brendan, and today we're talking about movie theaters. I'm welcoming a statistician of the name of Emily to talk about her recent study. Come in, Emily.
Hi, Brendan.
Hi. So what was this movie theater thing all about?
Well, I really wanted to know the difference between the true value of movie tickets that are sold compared to what people really think are sold.
Oh, so what did you do?
I went to the management at MJR at Partridge Creek, and I got the true value of the movie tickets sold. And then I had my assistant Bailey interview interview 30 different people out there to see what they thought the true value was. And the results were quite surprising.
Really? So what did you find?
First, let's cut to Bailey to see some of the interviews.
On average, how many movie tickets do you think MJR at Partridge Creek sells on a weekday?
5,000. Number of movie tickets sold during the week, 5,000.
On average, how many movie tickets do you think Partridge Creek MJR sells on a weekday?
Probably about 300.
317.
500.
On average, how many movie tickets do you think MJR at Partridge Creek sells on a weekday?
Well, on a weekday, there's not that many people there, so I consider like 90 tickets.
Okay. On average, how many movie tickets do you think MJR at Partridge Creek sells on a Friday?
Partridge Creek. I'd say about 2,000. On a Friday, 10,000.
800.
And then on average, how many movie tickets do you think MJR at Partridge Creek sells on a Friday?
It's like a Friday, it's maybe like 200.
Thank you, Bailey.
So how did you analyze your data?
Well, I used a box plot to analyze the data to see what the distribution would be. I first used what people thought that the amount of tickets sold on a weekday was, and the distribution ended up being fairly normal, which means that there was a pretty even amount on the left and the right. I then did a one variable statistics test, and I found that the mean was 528 and the median is 525, while the true value was between 300 and 400. I then used a one sample t-test to find any significant difference, and I found that there was a significant difference between what people actually thought compared to the true value. We ended up getting a t-value of around 3.57 and the p-value of 0.001 with an alpha level of 0.05, which means that we rejected. We performed a 95% confidence interval, and we found that the confidence interval was between 426 and 630, and that does not match our true value. It supports my t-test results that people think that MJR sell more than they really do.
So people just really have no idea how many tickets are sold then?
No idea. Yeah. And the same thing happened when we asked about Friday, too. So for this one, instead of overestimating the amount that we had, many people thought it was a lot lower than the tickets that were actually sold. The distribution this time was skewed to the right, so all of the data was being pulled to the left. When I looked for the 5-number summary for this distribution, I found that the mean and median were not at all the same, with the mean being about 2,084 and the median being about 1,701. There were a few people who estimated the number of tickets sold to be as much as 8,000. And when a t-test was done for this data, the t-value was found to be negative 4.82 and the p-value was basically 0, which again tells us that there is a significant difference between the amount of movie tickets people guessed were sold compared to the true value of what was actually sold, which is 3,500 on a Friday.
Wow, 3,500 is a pretty big jump.
It really is. I was surprised too. I performed a 95% confidence interval for the second question, and I found that the number of tickets people sold or thought was sold was between around 1,400 and 2,700, and that does not match the true value.
Really? So in layman's terms, what does this all mean?
It means that people thought that MJR sells a lot less on Friday than they actually do.
What does this all mean?
Okay, I'm going to compare it using money to make this simpler. So basically, people thought that the true mean was 525 tickets, and if tickets are $10 a piece, that means that people thought that they would make like over $5,000. And since the true value is $350, they really only make $3,500. So there's a pretty big difference between
Yeah,
the two.
there is quite a difference.
Yeah. And then for Fridays, people thought on average that they sold around 1,700 tickets when they actually sold 3,500. So that'd be $17,000 compared to $35,000, which is a really big difference.
Wow, that's more than double.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Wow, so those are some very interesting results.
They really are.
So people just don't know how many movie tickets are sold then.
People have no idea.
Well, I'd like to thank my guest, Emily, the audience, and our producer, Crystal, for all of her editing. Join us next week when we learn how to knit cat sweaters. Bye-bye. We have an offer for you. For just 3 easy payments of $9.99, you can get your own personal cat tent kit. Your kit comes with a piece of cardboard, some wire hangers, and a cotton t-shirt. Once you put your cat tent together, your cats will love to play and nap in it. If you call in the next 30 minutes, we'll take $5 off. Order today